Ndị be anyị ekene m unu. Asị m nke onye chiri ya zere. Ihe a bụ Ada Igbo ka ị na-anụ olu ya na Igbo Media n'ụbọchị nke taa. N'Igbo Media anyị na-ewetara unu ọtụtụ ozi gbasara Biafra land maka ihe na-eme n'ala Igbo na mba ndị ọzọ. Ozi nke ụbọchị nke taa si n'aka Deputy Prime Minister Ngozi ORABUEZE. Otu o si ewetara anyị ọtụtụ ozi gbasara Prime Minister Simon Ekpa na ọtụtụ ihe ndị ọzọ ha na-emegasị na Finland iji wee mee ka this our Biafran struggle ka ọ bụrụ ihe nwere isi. Biko ọ bụrụ na ụbọchị tata bụ izi na-esonyere anyị n'iru akwụkwọ, biko echefuna itinyere anyị aka n'iru akwụkwọ, gwakwa anyị ihe iche na comment section and gbasakwa ozi a ka o zuo ụmụnne anyị n'ebe dị iche iche arụ. Ngwa gere ya ka ọ ha n'uju.
Indigenous Nigerians and indigenous Biafrans. That can never be allowed to go on. They don't follow the rules made by these organizations they belong to. And some of the world leaders, you sit on the table with this criminal state and want the world to believe in these organizations. That is not going to happen. That will not happen. Appropriate sanctions must be taken against Nigeria immediately for people to leave. I also listened to one of the Nigerian activists, the prosecutors, saying self-determination laws, decolonization laws, human rights laws, which are widely and widely accepted to make the world a better place, it does not apply to Nigeria. That is exactly what they are telling you. It does not apply to Nigeria. According to him, Tinubu clearly believed that the law of Nigeria supersedes any international organization they belong to. That is why they are very reckless in their activities. And nobody is doing anything about that. That cannot continue. Because if we allow the leaders of countries in the world to carry out activities, to do things they want, then this world will be a very dangerous place for our children, for our grandchildren, yet unborn. That is why Nigeria must be confronted with appropriate sanctions to make people leave, to make the world a better place. They thrive on criminality. They thrive on bribery. Everywhere they see something good is going to happen, they send their agents there. They bribe them. Most of their customers, they send into Nigeria. They bribe them with choice cars, choice homes, choice money. That is why when they engage in their criminality, those embassies, they don't talk. Those ambassadors, they don't talk. How long are we going to continue to allow things like that happen? How are we going to make countries, how are we going to make the world a better place? Again, I want to use this opportunity to let the world know that the killing of Christians by the Nigerian state can never stop if Nigeria does not obey and follow the laws of different organizations established in the world to make the world a better place. Over five courts discharged and acquitted Nnamdi Kanu, including the court in Kenya. But today, Nigerian government has jailed him for life. And what does that tell the world? What does that tell the world? And you have the agents scattered all over the world, lying and misinforming people. That is the world those in Nigeria, indigenous Nigeria, live in. That is why the United States of Biafra has declared their independence through a self-referendum where over 50 million Biafrans voted to exit Nigeria. And on November 29, 2024, thousands of Biafrans gathered in Latifindra to declare our independence. That independence must be respected by every country in the world. It is a choice of the people. We've spoken that must be respected, regardless of who you are. Because we cannot continue to live with a country that reintegrates non-terrorists into the military and the police. That is a clear red signal danger to the world. The targeting of Christians by the Nigerian state cannot continue. Nigeria must crumble for people to live. There is nothing, absolutely nothing to gain with the continued existence of that entity called Nigeria, except law. Continue. A Kenyan court, an appeal court, and when we see him in court fighting for his dear life, some people say, oh, he's stubborn, he doesn't want to listen. Put yourself in the shoe of an American, where your brother, your sister, your mother has been murdered back in the Nigerian state. Put yourself in his shoe and tell me what you would do if you were in his position. Tell me what you would do. You will be smiling. You will behave like a disciplined child. You will not talk. You will just bow your head. You will say yes when they want you to say yes. You will say no when they want you to say no. If you were in his shoes, and in the shoes of thousands of indigenous Biafrans whose mothers, fathers, breadwinners have been killed by Tinubu and the Nigerian state, what would you do? Tell me what you would do. Why their agents carry out lies on Twitter, on social media, lying their way everywhere. They expect us to keep quiet. They expect you to be confused. They will tell you, oh, Muslims are killed Allah. No, Muslims are not killed Allah. The way they kill Christians in Nigeria. And it's not just the killing. The full integration of Nigeria into the IRC, into the Islamic organization, is not acceptable by the Christians that reside in Nigeria. You cannot have a whole bunch of Christians and dump them into the IRC and expect us to live by the laws of the Sharia law. That is not going to happen. And that is not acceptable. That is what Nigeria has done. That is why today Nigeria is a member of the Islamic organization. Did we approve that? No. Did the Biafran Christians approve that? No. And they use these laws against the Christians, whether you like it or not. That is not going to be acceptable. This back thing today means nothing to the full restoration and declaration which we already done of the United States of Biafra. If Tinubu and God thinks that this thing they put today to Namikano will stop Biafra, will stop us, I'm telling them, we will come out in a different way than we've seen Biafrans before. It is a practice. You can continue to kill our mothers, kill our fathers, our brothers and sisters, love them up. And you expect us to keep quiet. Never, never. This game has just begun today. It's a promise. Let's get to the root of all these problems, which Nigeria has refused to address. The root of all these problems, include the marginalization of Biafrans, the the marginalization of indigenous Nigerians, the killing of Christians in Nigeria, the killing of innocent Biafrans that have not committed any crime, the injustice, the milking of our natural resources without any compensation.
Ndị be anyị ngwadalụli nne ka unu si wee na-esore anyị n'ilu akwụkwọ na Igbo Media ebe si wee wetara onye bụ ozi. Gịnị ka ikwu gbasara maka ihe ndị a niile anyị wetara n'ụbọchị nke taa? Kabara ketụsa ya bụ ozi ka ọ rute ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ n'ebe dị iche iche ntị, maka ọ sị ọ nụrụ sị ma gịnị ya kara nwanne ya. Ngwana ka emesịa na ụmụnne m.